What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today I have another rebuild challenge that I wanted to do on this beautiful Sunday. I usually don't upload on Sundays, but today I was feeling like doing it, so I wanted to get a video out to you guys today. So honestly, my challenge today is every time I want to do a trade, Siri has to choose the trade. So basically I get to decide when I want to trade somebody, and when I do trade somebody, Siri decides who I trade. So this should be interesting, I think, or what I get in return anyway. It doesn't decide who I want to trade, what I get in return. So this should be fun. This is a little different from the Siri rebuilds I used to do way back in the day, but I'm gonna go ahead and make my head smaller because I know some of you guys hate it when my webcam's too big. I just do this at first to that way, like, is that a little bit better? Because I know some people have been saying that my head's been a little too big, so I'm gonna try for that. Let me know if that's too big, too small. But today obviously we got to rebuild the Detroit Pistons, who have been pretty good as of late, but I have skipped all the way to the offseason just because the playoffs really didn't matter, and we ended up with the 17th pick, so we weren't a lottery team. They ended up making the playoffs. So with that 17th pick, we still have Dwayne Casey as our head coach. I guess I'll keep him here for now, but like I said, every time we want to do a trade, Siri has to be involved, so can't wait for that. This is where trade should get interesting. And for my first trade, Reggie Jackson, I think, is the move. The Pistons got to find a way to get rid of this guy. They just do. So the Reggie Jackson in the 17th pick. Look, Blake Griffin isn't getting any younger, and you traded for him. So you got to make it look smart, right? You got to make this team look a little bit better. So we have 11 trade offers. I'm trying to trade Reggie Jackson in the first pick, or in our first round pick. This could be a terrible trade due to what Siri might make us choose, but let's see what happens. So Siri, pick a number 1 through 11.
The answer is 7.
So number 7. So whatever is behind door number 7 is the trade we're going to do. So I cannot wait to see this. So there was a Bam Adebayo offer. We really need a better point guard, and Siri is going to set us up with Monte Morris and Will Barton. Actually, not a bad start. Monte Morris has been pretty good this season. A great backup point guard for the Nuggets. I guess he has like the best assist turnover ratio in the NBA. So man, I'm digging this. I like this a lot. So Will Barton and Monte Morris, welcome to the Detroit Pistons. I will take that offer. That's fine with me. I like it. I like the first trade Siri set us up with. So good stuff there. But for rookie signings, they take Koshidi. I'll go ahead and sign him. Why not? GR3 and Svi Mikhailuk. They traded for Svi Mikhailuk, so I think it's only smart that we keep him. Qualifying offers, Isaiah Whitehead. Don't think those guys are very important. But now when we get to moratorium day, Zaza Pachulia, most punchable face in the NBA. I'm not bringing him back. Got about negative 4.56 in mil, or in cap space. We can go ahead and renounce everybody. Wayne Ellington, I think, will probably look to go somewhere else. Josh Smith, we're still paying him, interestingly enough. So we kind of have a better starting 3, I guess. We could move Will Barton back to his natural position though, and he'll go back up to shooting guard. So I'm gonna do that. And then we have Monte Morris and Will Barton right now as possibly our starting backcourt. Now I don't mind that by any means, but I think I want to, get a little bit better, at least at the point guard position. Galloway's contract isn't helping me at all. Luke Kennard is still here, obviously. Kyrie Thomas. We have a ton of shooting guards. John Lewar's contract sucks as well. Andre Drummond, and then we have Thonmaker as well. I forgot about that. So this roster is just looking all right, so first trade, gonna try to get rid of John Lewar, but like I said, once I want to do a trade, Siri has to decide what I'm gonna get in return. Siri, picking number 1 through 19.
The answer is 19.
So number 19, we get 2 first-round picks. This is exactly what I want to do. Siri is on a roll today, guys. Siri, I wanted to get rid of this money, so I mean, get a first-round pick. I mean, obviously that's not realistic, but this video is not a realistic rebuild, so not worried about that. So Luke Kennard, and then B. Mikhailuk. Is there anyone else? I mean, Langston Galloway as well. We get rid of him. So another Siri picking number 1 through 19.
It's 17.
Number 17, she gives us Andre Roberson. Yeah, that's it's okay, I guess, but we absorbed more money than I wanted, but I guess we get Andre Roberson. So Andre Roberson does go up at the small 4 position, so I guess I'll move him there. Not the greatest. He will expire after the season, so whatever. Monte Morris, Will Barton. So right now we have Kind of it's a interesting roster, and we have negative 8 points, so we have no money to use in free agency. So Isaiah Thomas I always thought would be a nice point guard coming to Detroit, which is what I might target here if I could afford him. So I'm gonna give Isaiah Thomas some money. Let's do it. Isaiah Thomas, and go ahead. No, decline and decline. Can renounce that, and then Isaiah. So we get Isaiah Thomas for 2 years and a player option. I like that a lot. So Isaiah Thomas will be our new starting point guard. Will Barton is going to be our starting shooting guard. Monte Morris will back him up. Luke Kennard, we probably have quite a bit of players we could send to the G League. So you need some backup forwards as well, and a decent, like, this is just all right. So this is kind of a messy roster. So small forwards, what do we got for small forwards? Layman, I always like him as far as backups. And then we got power forwards. What do we got? Marcus Morris Sr. Love to bring him back to Detroit if I could. I don't think I'll be able to, though. Let's see what we got. So Isaiah Thomas and Jake Layman. Marcus Morris goes to Boston, goes back to Boston anyway, and we get Isaiah Thomas and Jake Layman, but we don't have enough money to sign Jake Layman, unfortunately. So just like that, Isaiah Thomas, Monte Morris, Will Barton, Luke Kennard. So yeah, guys, this roster isn't the greatest. Roberson, I really don't want Roberson to be my starting small forward, to be honest with you. I mean, he is that good defender you want, but doesn't bring anything on the offensive end besides energy, I think. So small forwards, really not a whole lot we can choose from. Power forwards, Booker, Aminu. I always like Aminu, scrappy kind of guy. I'll always take Aminu. Centers, backup centers. Go with like Jones Noel, Marcin Gortat, Dwayne Dedman. I could see myself with him for a year. Never mind, don't want that. Aminu, and get Aminu, so that's fine. Center. His first season isn't going too well, I don't think. Rashawn Holmes, Tyler Zeller. I guess we got to get him. We need depth, so I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to go with that. George Hill, shooting guards, J.R. Smith, Wayne Ellington. I guess I'd bring Wayne Ellington back for a season or two. No, just a season. Get Wayne Ellington back for this, and then power forwards. Mike Scott was balling yesterday in that Warriors and Sixers game. Wow, he balled out yesterday. Rozier, D Wade, Carmelo. Bring Carmelo back to Detroit. Not back, but bring him to Detroit for once. Nah. Okay, so this first season didn't go too well. Not as planned by any means. Isaiah Whitehead and Caitlin. Let's say Caitlin. Blake Griffin. Andre Roberson, Isaiah Thomas, Andre Roberson. Did we get better? Andre Drummond. I said Andre Roberson twice. Did we get any better in this offseason? Let me know, guys. I don't know if we did or not, but I tried to. Kate Callan Lucas. Interesting name. 30 years old. Never heard of him. Obviously, he's not career points 15. Okay, so obviously not the greatest player by any means, but I like the additions of Monte Morris and Will Barton quite a bit. But other than that, I don't know. I didn't like the addition of Roberson too much. But like I said, we could always try to trade him at the trade deadline or something. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Load a 2020 draft class. I'm just curious to see what this rotation looks like after this, what we just did. So let's go ahead and look at that, pan that out. But the rotation on the right's not looking too terrible. Now, Isaiah Thomas, Will Barton. So, like, I guess you could say you got Will Barton, Roberson to kind of... You got Roberson to kind of hide Isaiah Thomas sometimes. Isaiah Thomas is a horrible defender. I guess we could say that, but I don't know. Untapped potential. Kind of want to give this to Monte Morris. I think Monte Morris could be a really good starting point guard one day. So we'll see how that pans out for him. But now when I look at the rotation, nine-man rotation, we got Isaiah Thomas, Will Barton, Andre Roberson, Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, Monte Morris, Tyler Zeller, Aminu, and Isaiah Whitehead. I'm going to go ahead and not give the minutes to Isaiah Whitehead. I'm going to give the minutes to Thon Make. I give the minutes to Luke Kennard. Although I would prefer to send Luke Kennard to the G League. There's some other players I could. Well, man, who do I want to give these minutes to? I guess I'll just give them to Isaiah Whitehead. And then I'll move Isaiah Whitehead to the shooting guard. And then Luke Kennard's going to go, or give it to Kyrie Thomas. I'm going to do that. Kyrie Thomas. Do that. Kyrie Thomas, and then we got to send some players to the G League. That way, our roster gets a little bit better. So, Luke Kennard still has how many years left his contract? That way, he don't leave me. Okay, he still has another year. So, go ahead. Thonmaker, I think. Yeah, never mind. Okay, what about Svi? Svi could go there. And I think that's all we can do. So let me see. Okay, what about Thomas? He has contracts left. Roberson's going to expire this season. Monty Morris still has a team option. I love that a lot. And Will Barton still has years on his contract left. So let's just see how this team does, guys. I'm not expecting a whole lot. I could actually, real quick, trade for a better backup shooting guard, possibly. So let's do that. Let's hope Siri can do that for us. So I'm going to do that before we simulate all the way. Kyrie Thomas and Bruce Brown. Give us a better backup guard. Shooting guard, preferably. Siri, pick a number 1 through 11.
The answer is 8.
Okay, number 8. So what do we get? Mitchell Robinson. I like Mitchell Robinson in real life. Nene, Anthony Melton, and Al Jefferson. Abrines, Quinn Cook. I mean, none of these were that great. Quinn Cook would have been the best option, I think. So I get Anthony Melton and Al Jefferson for these two. I guess that's a dub in a way. I'm going to go ahead and move Anthony Melton to that shooting guard spot. Hopefully he goes up a little bit. He is 6'4". Not ideal as a start or backup shooting guard, but you know what? It'll do. We got Al Jefferson still in there. I don't want that. Don't need Al Jefferson playing. So let's move that back. And then, all right. So enough talking here. Let's just see how this first season goes. Not expecting a whole lot. I'm going to take some minutes away from you. Zeller, and I'm going to give him all the Monty Morris. I want him getting a lot of minutes. So let's see what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and simulate to the end of the season. See how this team does. I don't know if we'll make the playoffs or not, but we'll see. So I don't know. Hopefully it goes well. We started out good, and then we just kind of fell off the face of the earth. We finished 44-38, which is still pretty good, though, so I'm not going to complain there. It's just we started out really good and just fell, like, bad. So these are the season awards. These are the All-NBA teams. I know you guys like to see that sometimes, but all defensive, all that. But this is what we're really worried about. We matched up against the Brooklyn Nets in the first round, which is a pretty good matchup for us, I would think. Here are your player stats. Here are we got Blake Griffin 25. Isaiah Thomas turned out to be a pretty good signing next to Blake Griffin. I like that's our big three kind of doing his thing right now. So I like that a lot. Isaiah Thomas is going to be here next to Blake Griffin for next couple of years, hopefully. So pretty good start. Andre Drummond as well. So Will Barton did his thing at the starting shooting guard spot. Like Will Barton a lot in real life. Monty Morris 9 and 5 off the bench did his thing as well. Zeller and Melton and Aminu all did their thing as well. Melton and Aminu and Zeller are about to be off the team. So Roberson is as well, 4 points. You know, Roberson did his thing as well. Obviously not going to show up in the box score, but Roberson's kind of that scrappy guy. That guy that defends a lot. And we haven't seen him play in a long time because he's been injured. And I don't think whenever he gets healthy, he'll start for OKC anymore. I think Ferguson has secured that spot. And we get eliminated in 7 games by the Brooklyn Nets, which is very unfortunate. But it is what it is. So we got to go into this offseason and get better. Hopefully Siri can help us out a little bit with some of the trades I might make. I don't know if I'm going to make any yet. But it's looking pretty good, I think, what we got so far. So, Isaiah Thomas for $8 million a year, I will take that. That's not bad at all. Kind of a steal. Will Barton is a good starting shooting guard. I think what our problem was the starting small forward spot. Now, yes, I like Audrey Roberson and all, but I think we could get a better starting small forward. I think that we could do that. So, league meetings. Let's go ahead and just skip right to it. League meetings, let's get right into this, guys. I think we should be able to go into this draft lottery and come out with a first-round pick. I don't think I traded it. And we might have a couple, actually. Pistons, we get Golden State's pick, and we get, do we have our own pick and the 21st pick? So that's 2 first-round picks we could use to try to package to get somebody. So now when we look at the trade finder, we still have, Will Barton is still under contract, but I like Will Barton a lot, so I don't think I'm going to trade him away. I think he fits the timeline of his team right now. Drummond, if I were to do Andre Drummond, I don't think I would trade him, though. I'm just curious of what I could get for him. Not a ton of good offers, so I don't think we're going to do this. The only trade yeah, none of those I would do. I wouldn't do any of those trades, so not going to do that. Mirotic on the Sixers is a dub, though. I'm not going to lie. So, let's try this guy and both our first rounders and see what is offered to us. So, let's just see what is offered out here. We get DeMar Carroll, which wouldn't be a bad starting small forward, but he would digress quite a bit. Dwight Howard, a decent backup center. I don't think I'm gonna risk this though, because none of those trades are like good at all. So let's let 2K draft the 2 guys. I'll sign both of them. Free. I have no Precious from Kentucky. I have no idea. He's a small forward though. I'm gonna sign both of them. Player options. That way we kind of have our. Okay, we get Luke. Oh, let's bring both these guys back. Come back 79 overalls. I will do that. All right, qualifying offers. Anthony Melton. I don't think I'm gonna worry about bringing you back or Thon Maker. So now we get into our salary. Hopefully we have a little bit of money. I don't know if we will. We have negative 23.75. Roberson's taking a little bit of that. Thon Maker was as well. We should have a little bit of money left in us. So let's renounce everybody that we can. We have 6, 8, and we about 9.91 mil. So that should be a decent enough money to get a decent starting small forward. So we have Steve Mikhailo could play the small forward low key, dude. He's like 6'9". I didn't know that he was that tall. 6'8". I'm gonna move him to small forward because he could play it. Precious, and he's what is Precious's 3-point shot looking like? Maybe this is a low key a gym that we just got. I don't know. I've never heard of him. He's got a C- 3-point rating. Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, good. Will Barton. So shooting guard spot is good. Will Barton, Luke Kennard, I like that a lot. Small forward spot might even be good now. Point guard spot is good. I kind of want to take advantage. We have 9.91 million, like I said, so we could either focus on getting a better small forward or focus on our Harrison Barnes. Honestly, think or Joe Harris even. Green Prince is a good fit. I like a lot of these. Shetty Osman, Jay Crowder. Harrison Barnes is standing out to me quite a bit though. A nice score. I'm gonna try for Harrison Barnes. I think that would be a nice signing here. So let's try for Harrison Barnes. We get Harrison Barnes. Awesome. So Harrison Barnes, welcome to the Pistons. Now we're going to kind of focus on getting some backups. So backup centers out here. Not a lot of cheap ones. Ed Davis always does his thing. So I'm going to go ahead and sign Ed Davis. And then we get Barnes and Ed Davis. I like that a lot. So Barnes is going to be our starting small forward, backed up by Steve Mikhailo. So now when I look at this team, just because we only have one more season left to do and we haven't used Siri in this offseason, we're going to go ahead and do it. So I'm going to trade this guy because I don't know who he is, and I don't have time for him to progress or anything. And I'm going to trade this guy as well. Both of our first round picks. And let's let Siri do one more trade for us. Let's see. Siri picking number 1 through 19.
It's 5.
Number 5. So let's see what's behind door number 5. Let's see what kind of depth. Oh, I would have loved Jordan Clarkson. 2 first round picks. That's not going to help me much. That's not going to help me much. Bam Adebayo would have been nice. Bill McGee. Ah, man, there was a lot better trades out there. But Siri has spoken. 2 first round picks from Atlanta. Okay. So, is there anyone else I would want to trade? Luke Kennard, Will Barton, Will Harrison Barnes. No, I think we kind of have our rotation. We need a backup point guard. So maybe if we traded those 2 first round picks we got, maybe we would get our backup point guard, our backup power forward. There are some good offers out here, so let's go for one more trade. So you're picking number 1 through 22.
It's 1.
1. Devin Dotson and oh man, that's not what I wanted. We could have gotten like Kuzminskis. I don't even know who that is. Oh, he played for the Knicks for a little bit. I don't know. He's kind of goofy looking. JaVale McGee. Could have gotten JaVale, man. Oh, man. All right. Jeremy Lamb. That would have been so sweet. But it is what it is. So we got to take Dotson and Schofield. I don't know who these guys are. But whatever. So let's just go sign a backup point guard or something. Reggie. You want to come back to the Pistons? I'll take you for 1 year. Off the bench. Okay. Why not? I'm sure Pistons fans aren't happy about that. But oh wait, we have Monte Morris. What am I doing? I don't need Reggie Jackson. Why did I think I needed Reggie Jackson? Oh, one more trade to do. So let's go ahead. Sorry, Reggie. I didn't want you back here. So Reggie Jackson. I don't know why I forgot about Monte Morris. Here, pick it number 1 through 25.
It's 21.
So number 21. Let's see what we got. Howard Dorsey. I would have preferred. Let's just do this. All right, not a big deal. All right. Doesn't help us by any means, but we let Siri do her thing. So just like that, this is going to be the final roster we got. It kind of this was kind of a realistic rebuild in a way, kind of like what was Siri, because I didn't do any crazy trades. I didn't go like get, I don't know, man. It's not bad. It wasn't a bad rebuild, I don't think. So hopefully this roster can at least make the playoffs, which is what Detroit wants. Obviously, Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond. I mean, Monte Morris, Will Barton, I think were pretty good additions. And then Isaiah Thomas, I think, was a decent signing because they needed a better point guard. But the Pistons should have done everything in their power at this last trade deadline to get Mike Conley, in my opinion. They still could try to get Conley in the offseason. I still think it's a possibility. But, man, if I was a Pistons GM, I would have been doing everything in my power to grab Mike Conley. That would have just helped the Pistons propel in the playoffs, like, big time. So, yeah, Isaiah Thomas, Luke Kennard, Harrison Barnes, Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, Monte Morris, Steve McCulloch, Will Barton, Tyler Dorsey. That is a good rotation. Hopefully, this rotation does well. We get to see how it does. And, ooh, Kevin Durant's on our target list. Kevin Durant would never come to Detroit. Sorry about that. But let's just see how the Pistons do. Hopefully, make the playoffs. Obviously, we didn't make the playoffs this time around. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how the final playoffs look. Who wins the championship and whatever. That way, you guys can see that. But here are the player stats. We had 22 from Blake Griffin, 17 from Drummond, and we had 16 from Isaiah Thomas, 14 from Barnes. He had 9, Luke Kennard had 9, and Will Barton had 8.7. Yeah, so unfortunately, didn't go too well this last season. But guys, no need to fear. We'll go ahead and see how these final playoffs, pan out, and then we'll basically figure it out from there. So we got New Orleans beating OKC in the first round, which is very interesting. And then we got the the Portland Blazers beating the Timberwolves. No, Timberwolves. They're not the Timberwolves anymore. And then we got Golden State and Los Angeles. Los Angeles, man. What a disaster. They lost to the Phoenix Suns last night, guys. Lakers fans, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's just a disaster season. It's just unbelievable. Like, it really is. The Lakers win the championship, though, so don't worry about it. In a couple of seasons, LeBron will be back in the championship, and this is what your roster will look like. Let's see what it looks like. You got Klay Thompson. So, man, you got to hold out, all right? So, you got Klay, Kuzma, Ball, Hart. Even got Emmanuel Terry, whoever that is. Josh Green, Jackson Hayes, Pat Bev, Dwayne Dedman, Keem Birch. So, you guys have a lot to hold on to. Just remember. But thank you, guys. This is Crashballs, and I'm saying peace.